Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharya Nachiketase cha. Gita Press page number 83, a PDF file page 82, second line from the bottom. Correct? Tasmat Avyaktat. Okay. Let's chant the 11th mantra. Mahataf Paramavyaktam
Mahataf Paramavyaktam
Avyaktat Purushah Paraha
Avyaktat Purushah Paraha
Purushanna Parang Kinchit
Purushanna Param Kinchita
Sakashtha Saparagatihi.
Sakashtha Saparagatihi.
Continuing with the Bhaashyam. Tasmat
Tasmad
Avyaktat
Avyaktat
Paraha Sukshmataraha
Paraha Sukshmataraha
Sarvakarana Karanatvat
Sarvakarana Karanatvat
Pratyagatmatvat cha
Pratyagyatmatvat cha
Mahan cha
Mahan cha
Ataha eva
Ataha eva
Purushaha
Purushaha
Sarvapuranat.
Sarvapuranat.
Yeah. So it is now the responsibility of the Upanishad to say something about that najayate mriyate va vipaschit. All that Yama had already said. He's given some indication. But he has to tell more, And so, how do what is this Atma? Atma is the most puzzling thing. Atma is everywhere, but yet not to be found, That's the dilemma we have right now. And so, therefore, in these two mantras, number 10 and number 11, the famous Panchakosha Prakriya, each Shastram has its own way of doing it. And so, Kathopanishad, Yama uses his own way to do that. And Indriyabhyah Parahyarta, we saw all that. And then we also saw there in that mantra number 10, Buddher Atma Mahan Paraha. Buddhi was clear. Then suddenly a jump was made to Atma, which Bhashyakara clarified as Hiranyagarbha, also called Mahan, also called Atma, okay? And went from Vyashti Buddhi to Samashti Buddhi. This Vyashti Samashti is a very important thing for us. Because we are seeking a God which is all pervasive, not a God located somewhere. God located somewhere, these discussions are meaningless. Meaningless. Why? Because the world is Satyam, I am Satyam, you are Satyam, every body is Satyam, every object is Satyam, Vaikuntha is Satyam, Kailasa is Satyam, Vishnu is Satyam, Shiva is Satyam, everybody is Satyam. Now you have to keep comparing between Satyams. Which Satyam is the Satyamest? That is the only discussion we can have. It is like trying to decide which is the best movie to go to, which is the best restaurant to go to, which is the best place to buy a house. This is that discussion we have all the time anyway. And so like that, which heaven is the best? That's all. That's all the discussion can be, maximum. This is where most religions are. If you just think about it, I mean, if you this is a brass tacks. This is what most religions are. My heaven is better or your heaven is better. My God is better or your God is better. My traditions are better or your traditions are better. This is all over. And there is no end to this discussion. Do you know why? Because Swargaha, Ishvaraha, not visible. You can't put in a lab and try to look at the properties. Which diamond is stronger or gold is stronger, at least we can find out. We can do some hardness test and all that and everything and do something and figure out. But here you can't figure out. Whatever the person says, that's all it is. What does your Shastram say? We are not even comparing. We are claiming that ours is the best religion. Everybody is claiming like that. So there is not even a discussion possible. Therefore, here he jumps. For this, the jump is so important for us. From Vyashti Buddhi to Samashti Buddhi. We saw that. That is Hiranyagarbha. Then that Hiranyagarbha is also called Mahan. Therefore, in Mantra 11, he says Mahataha. Compared to that Mahan, Avyaktam is Paramam. Param. Avyaktam. Then we saw Maya was brought in, and Maya, different names are there. And that Sarva Karanam Maya. Maya is the Karanam, cause of this world. Okay. That is the Shakti. That is why Maya is called Shakti, also called Shakti, correct? Maya Shakti. Generally, we don't say Ishvara Shakti. That phrase, you don't find it. You only call Maya Shakti. Shakti means Maya. Shakti Dvayam Himayayaha Vikshepa Vrita Rupakam. Like that, Shankaracharya will say elsewhere in where does he say that? Viveka Chodamani or Atmabodha? I'm forgetting now. So, Shakti Dvayam. So that Maya is also talked about as two kinds of Shakti. One is she has the veiling power. Shakti in terms of the cause of the world, yeah, that's the tremendous Shakti, no doubt. But then from our perspective, she 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 has the ability to cover my vision, like this. She has the ability to cover. And once she covers my vision, then I am given now a Shakti. And what is that Shakti? The Shakti to project. If I see something but I don't know what that something is, I have no choice but to do what? To make a conclusion. I have to make a conclusion. I have to make a conclusion. Okay. And so it happens. It happens all the time. You walk in the railway station or somewhere, you see somebody and you don't know anybody in the railway station, really speaking. But suddenly you saw, oh my God. And hey, Vikram. And then he turns around, he says, no, not Vikram. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were a friend of mine. No, no, also you're a friend of mine only. But I thought you were another friend of mine. Okay. And so why did that happen? Because there is an object, and you either you have to say, I don't know what it is, and I don't care what it is, and I don't need to know what it is, you can say. Or if you have to make an assumption, you will make a decision. You have to make a decision. And so that is called Avarana Shakti. We didn't talk about it, but that's by the way, Maya Shakti. And so Now, we saw in the last class, Mahataha Param Avyaktam. Now, Avyaktat Purushaha Paraha. Second quarter is what we are going to review today, correct? Second quarter of the mantra, which is what the Bhaashyam we read. Tasmat Avyaktat Paraha Sukshmataraha Sarva Karana Karanatvat Pratyagatmatvat Cha Mahancha Ataha Eva Purushaha Sarva Puranat. Okay? That is where we are. Tasmat. Tasmat. Tasmat means what? Tasmat has two meanings. The word tasmat, when it appears, it means therefore, and we call it nigamanam. Means a discussion is being concluded. Tasmat, therefore, a conclusion is made. Here it is not that tasmat. Here tasmat means from that, not from the past discussion. From that, from what? From that avyaktam, which was talked about earlier, which is paramam superior to Mahan Hiranyakarpa. From that avyaktam, there is another thing that is superior to avyaktam, Maya. And what is that? Is being talked about. Okay. Tasmat avyaktat paraha. Okay. Paraha. There is something superior to that avyaktat, from that avyaktam Maya. Okay, he doesn't say Purusha yet, Paraha. And he instead gives the meaning of the word Paraha. Just like he gave the meaning of Paraha in all these previous instances, we now know what is the meaning of superior, this supreme, superior, and all. So Shankaracharya is explaining why these words supreme and all is all you have to demystify that word. Correct? You can't leave that word supreme, because now supreme, if I say, you have to now imagine. You have to imagine what supreme means. What I say, Maya is supreme compared to Hiranyaka. So what will you do? Supreme is not a verb that we use on a day-to-day basis. Swamiji jokes. Swamiji jokes by saying, the only supreme is what you put in your when you go to the petrol bunk or gas station, you put something. One is called basic standard, and the other is called supreme. Supreme. Supreme gasoline. You pay a few more cents or whatever, rupees extra.
Premium brand.
Huh?
Premium.
Premium. Yeah, supreme is a better word in this context. So supreme. So in America, they have supreme. Here, I don't know if they have supreme. And so supreme. That is only supreme that's available, Swamiji says. Saying that Shankaracharya helps us understand what that supreme is. Supreme is what? Sukshmataraha. Sukshmataraha means even subtler, even subtler, even subtler than Maya is this Purushaha. Later on, Purushaha is going to come, right? Oh, Sukshmataraha. And why it's subtler? Sarva Karana Karanatvat. Sarva Karana Karanatvat. Hey, Maya is Sarva Karanam. Maya is the cause of this Jagat, this world. And that is Sarva Karanam. This is what? Sarva Karana Karanam. Sarva Karanasya Karanam. This Purushaha is the cause of that, cause of everything. Oh, I see. Maya is the cause of this world, but then something else causes Maya. Yeah, that is what he's saying here. Sarva Karana Karanatvat. But you have to be careful here. Why? Because the clay is the cause of the pot. Clay is the cause of the pot. The pot maker is also the cause of the pot. You can give many causes. Like this, every object that I see here in this, in front of me is an effect which had a cause. Now that cause also has a cause, and that cause also has a cause. Like this, you can keep going back and back and back. Keep tracing, if you will. Okay. And so this Maya, if Maya had a cause, which is Purusha, then Maya becomes effect. And Maya becomes Anityam. But guess what? Maya is Anadi. Everything is Adi. Everything has a date of birth. Everything which is a effect, which is a product, has a date of birth. Pot has a date of birth. Every product has a date of birth. So if you make Maya into a product whose cause is Brahma or Purusha, then Maya will become product and she will become Anityam and she will become Anadi also. Anadi means she will have a beginning. But sorry, Maya is Anadi. I mean, she will become Adi, I meant to say. She will have a date of birth. But Maya has no date of birth. Why? Because Maya is Anadi, Ajam. Therefore, this cause effect is not like every other cause effect we know of. Yeah, yeah, these things are important to remember. And why? Because, and that is why Purusha Suktam. Sahasrashirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva. Sahasrashirsha Purusha. Okay. And then this Purusha is Sahasrashirsha, means 1,000-headed, it seems. Means the entire world, pervades the entire world. Yet Atyatishtad Dashangulam. Yet Brahman is 10 fingers apart from the world. 10 fingers apart from the world. Very beautiful way of saying. It means Brahman created the world, but Brahman is Asangaha. Asanga is not affected by the world. Sustains the world, but not affected by the world. Somewhat like pot. I mean, the clay created the pot, but clay is unaffected by the pot. Pot can have all kinds of problems. No job satisfaction. Only once, two, twice, thrice, 4 times a week, I come up and I show my face to people, and then quietly I'm kept back. I'm quiet. I'm doing nothing. For so many days, I do nothing. I feel very useless. Pot can say that, but clay is unaffected by that. Correct? Like that. Like that, Purushaha, he's going to explain, okay, Shukshmataraha Sarva Karana Karanatvat. And that Karanam is not like every other Karanam. And so it is Sarva Karana Adhishtanatvat. Why? Because Brahma Purusha is the Adhishtanam of Maya. Adhishtanam means what? It is like clay is the Adhishtanam of the pot. Then what is this cause effect when it comes to clay pot? Well, pot is projected on the clay. Clay did not become the pot. Did clay become pot? We will be forced to say clay. We have to think about it. It's not straightforward. Clay did not become pot. If clay became pot, then clay would not be existing right now. But I see clay also, I see pot also. Therefore, clay is called Adhishtanam. Sometimes they use the word substrate, etc. But substrate is it can be separate from the product, so we don't use that word. Clay is the support. Adhishtanam, there is no English word for Adhishtanam. Adhishtanam means the entire content of pot is clay. There is nothing other than clay. That is the meaning of Adhishtanam. If I use the word substrate, what will happen? Then you can always put in the lab, we use the word substrate. I did my master's in biotechnology. So what we do is in the lab, we have this petri dish, and where we have this, there is a material on which bacteria can grow. And then we make the material that's called substrate. On top of the substrate, we put drops of this bacteria. Just a little, one drop. And then we come next day, suddenly you will see the bacteria. You will see the colony develop. So therefore, but the bacteria is colonies sitting on top of the substrate. So when I use the word substrate, it will give the impression that the substrate is different from what is growing on the substrate. Here, Adhishtanam is not substrate because Adhishtanam is the essence of the product. It is the essence of the world. And therefore, Adhishtanatvat, Sarva Karana Karanatvat, you have to say Adhishtanatvat here, by the way, right? Then, okay. So then he says, Pratyagatmatvat cha. Previously, what did he say? Look at the beginning of this mantra. Bhaashyam. Mahataha api param sukshmataram. Pratyagatma bhutam, he said. Now what is he saying? The word bhutam is gone. Bhutam there means what? Because it is the more like the essence. It is getting closer to Pratyagatma. But yahan par, it is not closer to Pratyagatma. Purushaha is Pratyagatma. Therefore, that word bhuta, which means of the nature of, getting closer to, etc., is gone. Here he is using the word pratyagatmatvat because Purusha, which is going to explain, he'll explain later, is pratyagatma sakshat. Okay, pratyagatmatvat cha. Okay, and then what? Mahan. Three definitions, three meanings to understand the word supreme, right? Three meanings. One is subtler, subtlety. Another is closer to Atma. And another third one is what? More expansive. The subtler it becomes more pervasive also. And here previously he had said Mahattaram, Mahatvat. Here Mahan. It is not more expansive. Purushaha is the final. And so Mahan means all pervasive. Ityarthaha. Later on, there will be a discussion about what is greater than Purusha. The discussion is going to come. Okay. But here he concludes by saying Mahan cha, Mahan, all pervasive, and Pratyagatma also. So right there is a Mahavakyam. What is a Mahavakyam? Brahma is all pervasive. Instead of using the word Brahma, is using the word Atma. Therefore, there you go. There is a Mahavakyam there. Okay. Mahan cha. Ataha eva Purushaha Sarvapurana. Ataha eva. Therefore, because of therefore, ataha, only because of that, Purushaha, that Pratyagatma is called Purushaha by Yamadharmaraja. Okay, because Atma he used up before, so he can't use the word same Atma here. For Hiranyagarbha, he used the word Atma, correct? So he can't use that word Atma here again. So Ataha eva Purushaha. And because of that, he is called Purusha. That Brahma is called Purusha. Why? Sarva Puranat. Because Sarvam Purayati iti Purushaha. That which fills up everything is called Purushaha. Because that is the meaning of the word Purusha itself, Sarva Puranat. And that is what is being said earlier by saying Pratyagatmatvat cha Mahan cha. Therefore, that which is param to Maya, that which is param greater than Maya is Purushaha because of its nature of filling up everything. And how does Brahma fill up everything? Can you explain to me what that is? Yes, we can explain. By giving existence, by lending its existence. When I say what is, that isness is Brahma. That existence is Brahma. I take that is for granted and say pot exists, I see pot, I exist and all I keep on saying. But this existence has been taken for granted all along. All along existence is taken for granted. Once the existence is taken for granted, then we can argue who is better, what can I want, which job can I get, which is better salary and this, that I can talk, which insurance is good, which vehicle is better these days. Okay, should I buy a car with Geo, that system or not? These days, I don't think you have that kind of option. But anyway, all these options are there provided existence is granted. That Satta Pradhanena. Sanskrit, they use a word. Satta Pradhanena means that Satta is that Purushaha, is that Atma, is that Brahma. Okay. Okay. So, Sarva Puranat, right?
Recording is there.
Sadrupena, Satta Pradhanena, Sadrupena, Chidrupena. What is Chit? Sat is the existence. What is Chit? Chit is awareness. I exist is one thing. I am aware of the world. I am conscious of the world. I am conscious of every object in this world. I am conscious of Maya also. Correct? I am conscious of this world. And therefore, that consciousness, awareness is the Chit. By giving existence and awareness, Purushaha, that Atma is called Purushaha, Sarvam Purayati. That is why, that is why uh, Shankaracharya says, Asti bhati priyam rupam namachetyam sapanshakam. Like that, Dridrishya Viveka. There is a text, beautiful text. I really want to teach that sometime. Hopefully, we'll get that opportunity. See what happens if I take a course, I can teach. I don't have a problem with that. But I have to cut out some of the important classes I'm studying, for which also I'm preparing a lot. Some of the classes with Swamiji. Swamiji and just two or three of us are studying some text, which is also very gripping and where I'm learning a lot and it strengthens my understanding. And so I have to choose between this and that. So we'll get there. Okay. So then he says, Asti Bhati Priyam, Asti Bhati Priyam Rupam Nama Chet Amsha Panchakam. There are five things in this world. This whole universe is just five. What are those five? Asti Bhati Priyam, Asti existence, Bhati awareness, Chit. Priyam, Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. Correct? Bhati you must understand. Bhaskaraha. Bha means shining. That's why sun is called Bhaskaraha, right? Baha karoti iti Bhaskaraha. So Asti Bhati Priyam. Then what? Rupam Nama Chet Amsha Panchakam. Nama Rupa is this whole Jagat is all just in two words. I can say what it is. It's called Nama and Rupa. Exactly like this pot. Pot has a Rupa. Rupa includes everything, form, color, weight, everything, all attributes you can think of, put it under Rupa. And guess what? Also has a name because it's a Vastu, it's an object. I refer to it using the word pot in English. Any other languages also words are there. Therefore, and he says, Astibati Priyam Rupam Namachetyam Panchakam. Amsha Panchakam means five amshas, five parts are there to this world. Okay. Adyatrayam Brahma Rupa. The first three, Adyatrayam means the first three. What is the first three? Asti Bhati Priyam, Tat Chit Ananda is Brahma Rupam. It is identical with Brahma. Okay, that Brahma which you have heard as Sarvam Brahmamayam, etc., that Brahma Adyatrayam Brahmarupam Jagadrupam Tatodvayam. The Tatodvayam means the last two, Rupam and Nama and Rupa, is Jagat Rupam. That is your Jagat for you. That's your world for you. Go figure out. You can, no. How did you figure all this out? We are still analyzing all particles. We have come down to level of particles. We have mapped out galaxies and all that. How confident you are about this? We are not confident about it. We know it. It's like asking, how confident you are that 2 plus 3 is equal to 5? How confident are you? Are you sure 2 plus 3 is equal to 5? You've gone beyond confidence, correct? You've gone beyond confidence. It's a statement of fact that's properly understood. Therefore, so here, Astibhati, so that Puranat, Astibhati, Asti Rupena, Bharupena, Purayati Sarvam. Okay. Okay, then I think we need to read the next sentence. Okay, let's read.
Excuse me, could
Yeah.
you explain again the Sarva Purana?
Sarva Puranat means because of its nature of filling everything up. Sarva is everything. Puranat, because its nature is to fill everything up. That is why it's called Purushaha. Because that Pu refers to Puranam. Pu in Purushaha, Shankaracharya is saying there is a Puranam sitting there. That act of filling up is sitting there in that Pu Dhatu. Okay. Pu. So therefore, Purushaha. And we also know another meaning for it. By the way, since you asked, Purau Ushati iti Purushaha. Correct? Bhagya is saying that. So, Purau Ushati means Purau. Pura. Puri. Puri. Puri means what? This body. Puri is body. Like Kanpur, Nagpur, etc. Purau. That Puri. In that Puri, in that city, 9-gated city, Navadvara Puredehi, Ushati lives, exists. And that which exists in this 9-gated city is also Purushaha. Sarva Puranat Brahma Purushaha. Pura Ushati, here also Purushaha. Therefore, Mahavakya is just loaded. That word is so loaded. That word itself is a Mahavakya, you can say. Correct? So, Anuradhaji, was that okay? Sarva Purana. Okay.
In Kata, it comes Purush, Dasha, Ekadasha, 11. We get that mantra.
Ekadasha will come late. Yeah, correct. Okay. Tataha
Tataha
Anyasya Parasya
Nyasya Parasya
Prasangam
Prasangam
Nivarayan
Nivarayanna
Aha
Aha
Purushat na param kinchit
Purushat na param kinchit
di
I
yasmat.
Yasmat
Yeah, we'll read that later. We'll stop this. Purushat na param kinchit. Then now the next question is what? The automatic question that's going to come to our mind. Mahataf param avyaktam avyaktat purushaha paraha. Then immediate question is Purushat kaha paraha? What is greater than Purusha? That is the next question. That's what he's saying here. Because that expectation is there. Now you know what Purusha is, therefore you're not asking the question. But the question is, the logical question is, okay, what's greater than Purusha next? You've been giving me a big list starting from Indriyebhyah param manaha, etc., aparaha arthaha, etc. And so it's continuing. It's continuing. Therefore, Purushat kaha paraha. What is greater than Purusha? Therefore, he's saying, look at this. He's saying, tataha, logically, the next tataha, from there, right? Anyasya parasya prasangam nivarayana. Anyasya parasya, something greater than tataha, from that Purushat, Purushaha. Ataha means Purushat. Purushat anyasya parasa. That which is greater than Purusha, that which is more supreme, what did we say? That which is superior to Purusha. That expectation may be there in your mind. Prasangam. Prasangam, because the context is already established. Suppose you tell a story to the child, you know what, we are going to go for a vacation. The children are all waiting. Vacation, vacation, vacation. And we're going to drive also. That's it. Fantastic. Children like all these things. And then we're going to drive. What car? Are you going to rent a van? Daddy, this, that, and all they rent. And then we're going to go here and then go down to this temple there. Then from there, we're going to go to this Kutralam Falls, waterfalls. We have rented a room there and this, that. Then from there, we're going to go to Kanyakumari. Then from there, big list. After 7 days, Dad, after that, what are you going to do? No, after that, we'll come home. You want to come home after that? Yeah, we have to eventually come home, Oh, Dad, that's all? My vacation is 2 months. Only 7 days we are going? Yeah. So that is that. Prasangam is there. The child has that expectation. After that, what? And so that prasangam, that expectation is there. Nivarayan. Nivarayan means addressing that expectation. Addressing that expectation by removing that doubt. Nivarayam really means countering that. Okay? Countering that. Countering that expectation. Says. Who says? Not Shankaracharya says. Upanishad Upanishad says. What does Upanishad say? Purushat na param kinchit iti. Quotes. It must be within quotes. In your book, if it is not in quotes, put that whole phrase in quotes. He's basically repeating that third quarter of the mantra. Correct? Purushanna param kinchit. Purushanna means what? Purushat from Purusha compared to Purusha. Na param kinchit. There is nothing greater than Purusha. Like that, Shankaracharya is saying, Upanishad is saying that in order to counter this expectation, in order to answer the expectation about what is next to Purusha, what is superior to Purusha. Like that is making a statement without explaining the statement. Okay, explaining will come later. Okay, he's just quoting that sentence, right? And so in Kaivalya Upanishad, we have a mantra. Okay, so Mayeva Sakalam Jatam. Everything is born in me. Look at the statement. Mayeva Sakalam Jatam. Jatam means born. Mayeva Sakalam Jatam. Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam. Everything, the entire cosmos resides in me. Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam. Mai Sarvam Layam Yati. Layam, so-called destruction, dissolution, disappearance, whatever you want to call it, unmanifestation, demanifestation, also happens in me. Mai Sarvam Layam Yati. Mayeva Sakalam Jatam. Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam. Mai Sarvam Layam Yati. Okay. Tasmad Brahmadvayam. Tad Brahma Asmi Aham Advayam. Tad Brahmasmayam. Tas Brahmasmi Aham Avyayam. That Brahma, that Aham, that Brahma Asmi. I am that Brahma into which all these things are happening, right? Creation happens in me. Sustenance is sustained by me or in me. Everything resolves in me. That Brahma I am. That Brahma Asmi Aham. And what is that Brahma? Advayam. Kaivalya Upanishad, famous sloka, called Kaivalya Upanishad.
Guruji, so a question. So, Atta Eva Purusha is the Mahavakyam?
So, Ataha is therefore. The word Ataha means therefore. Therefore.
Okay. Yes. No, so
Okay.
what you said there's a Mahavakyam here. So I was just
No,
trying
Purusha.
to
No, I said
Purusha.
Purusha itself, Mahavashya. The word
Mahavakya,
Purusha
right.
itself seems to contain
Yes.
the entire Mahavakyam because
Correct.
of the
So
two
that's
definitions we have.
yes. Okay.
Because of the two definitions of Purusha. One definition seems to point to Atma, another definition seems to point to Brahma. That is what I meant. Correct? And so, therefore, look at this. Let's read the next one. Okay, so I think what is the meaning of this sentence? Because now there is an expectation of what is greater than Purusha, Upanishad is going to say the next statement, Purushat na param kichit. That's all it means, right? Now, let's read the next sentence. Yasmat
Yasmat
na asti Purushat
na asti Purushat
chinmatra ghanat
Chinmatra Ghanat
param kinchidapi
Param Kinchidapi
vastvantaram
Vastvantaram
tasmat
Tasmat
sukshmatva
Sukshmatva
mahatva
Mahatva
pratyagatmatvanam
Pratyagatmatvanam
sakashtha
Sakashtha
nishtha paryavasanam.
Nishtha Paryavasanam.
Yeah, so Bhaashyakara is explaining that those words of the fourth quarter, sakashta, sa paragatihi. The word sa appears 2 times. Okay, sakashta, sa. So yasmat means because yasmat na asti, you leave it for later. Yasmat purushat, because from that purusha, compared to that purusha, and who is that purusha? What is he going to say? Yasmat purushat param kinchit na asti. We come back to Chinmatra, etc. Param kinchit na asti. There is nothing superior to purusha. Because there is nothing superior to purusha. And ta kashta asti. Kashta means what? Let's look at the word kashta. Kashta is nishtha. Nishtha. Kashta is nishtha. Then what is nishtha? Nishtha is paryavasanam. Shankaracharya is writing, Kashta is nishtha. Then he thinks, oh my God, I think I should explain what nishtha is because they will ask me what nishtha is. And so paryavasanam. Paryavasanam is a more common word. Nishtha also is a common word. But nishtha can mean discipline and things like that. Therefore, he's paryavasanam, he's saying. Paryavasanam means what? In Panini Sutra, there is a word called avasan. Avasana means full stop. A sentence means, how do you know where the sentence ends? Well, look for the full stop, the period. That is where the sentence ends. And so that particular pause indicated by a period, for example, or a comma, is called avasanam in Panini's language. Here, paryavasanam, same thing. Paritaha, in all ways, ending is called kashta. Culmination ityarthaha. Sa kashta, that is the culmination. What is the culmination? Purusha is the culmination of this vichara. What vichara? From indriyabhyaha parahyartha onwards, this vichara we've been doing, this panchakosha vichara, panchakosha prakaranam is being followed. And culmination. Purusha is culmination. But why Purusha is culmination? Look at this. Okay, I hope you're following, right? So, yasmat na asti purushat chinmatra ghanat param kinchit vastvantaram. Kinchit vastvantaram. There is nothing. Vastvantaram means another vastu, another thing, another entity. There is no other entity which is greater than Purusha. Therefore, Purusha is a culmination of this analysis. It's purely an analysis, cognitive analysis. If somebody says clay is the kashta of this world of clay objects, pottery, you go to a pottery store and then everything is clay. Everything is clay. That's it. You brought it all down to clay. Beyond clay, there's nothing. If you say that is what is being said here. Here, you replace the clay by Purusha. Sakashta asti. Vastvantaram means another vastu is not there. There is nothing that exists that is beyond Purusha, because Purusha itself is existence. You can't ask what provides existence to existence. You can ask, we are all free, we're all free people, we have free will. We can ask anything we want. How can you say you can't ask? If you tell your children you can't ask, they will ask exactly that question only. Children are so smart, my God. I think children are perfect. If at all you teach them Vedanta somehow, they will pick it up very quickly. I feel so. I've interacted with college children. They are very good at picking up this. They have that mindset because they have the questioning mindset, They're eager, they're hungry for something to hold on to. I find everywhere I go, they're hungry. And they just don't
lose the
have
questioning mentality as we
Huh?
grow. We lose the questioning mentality as we grow.
Yeah. So questioning mentality is there, but we keep on getting hit. Come on, shut up, shut up, shut up. How dare you ask that question? How dare you disrespect your parents? How dare you disrespect your teachers? Oh, yeah. So I should not. I should accept everything as it is. There is a place for Shraddha where you accept. There is also a place for questioning. That is why this Shastram is a big blessing. You know why? This is the only place where you can ask any question. Correct? I mean, you can ask how are airplanes made, you can ask, but I won't have an answer to that. I will say Google and find out. Okay, you can ask, but you won't ask me that question because you know that is not the context. But there are more subtler questions that have to be asked. Emotion-related questions, psychology-related questions are there. Of course, Vedanta is very much there. And therefore, this interaction, Shravanam is such an important aspect of our life, because even whether I understand everything or not, still I am blessed by it. Correct? Still I'm blessed. Something makes me feel good. How something makes me feel good? That is what Shastram is. Ashana trayate iti Shastram. Anyway, we'll come back here to this. Vastvantaram kinchidapi nasti. There is nothing greater than Purusha, and Shankaracharya explains Purusha here by a word called Chinmatra Ghana. Previously also he explained Sarva Puranat. He said that because Asti Rupena, Asti Bhati Rupena, Sarvam Purayati. He said that. That itself is a grand statement. Then here, Chinmatra Ghana. This Ghana is a word that's often used in our Vedanta Shastra. Ghana means homogeneity. Homogeneity. Purity, pure. A homogeneous mass of Chaitanya. Try understanding that. Homogeneous mass of Chaitanya means what? Means all that is there is Chaitanya, awareness. Chit is all that is there. And that all that is there is referred to by that word Ghanam. Ghanam means what? Dense. You can say dense. All that is there is, somebody, in the US, they breakfast, sometimes they have what is called this donuts. I don't know how people have breakfast. I think it has become some kind of a tradition in the West. I mean, you can say, no, Gujaratis also have some nice laddus and all for breakfast. In southern part of India, that won't be acceptable. That's not the norm. That's not the norm at all. But donut. If you didn't have breakfast at home, you come to the office, there'll be donuts waiting for you. All chocolate covered donuts and other type. I'm forgetting all those names now. But you'll have all this nuts that is stuck to the chocolate. It's all too very attractive. It's hard to say no to that. Okay. And somebody was about to take a bite of that. Then he was told, hey, watch out. It's just sugar. It's all sugar. It's all sugar ghanam. That's what he's saying. It's all sugar ghanam. It's just pure sugar. Okay. You watch out. And then that guy said, yeah, I know that. I know what you're saying, but you know what? If the sugar does not kill me, keep your mouth shut. You know what? If the sugar does not kill me, my wife will kill me. They're just trying to say, yeah. So that is what sugar ghanam, just dense mass of sugar. Or some people will say starch. Oh, that's starch. And they only see starch in that. Okay. Starch ghanam. So here it is chinmatra ghanam. Pure, homogeneous bulk of consciousness. Okay. You can translate. If you have a better translation, welcome to translate it. Okay. We are going to stick with chinmatra ghanam. Okay. And so, because that Purusha is just chinmatram, there is nothing other than Chaitanyam. You mean the whole world is Chaitanyam? Yes, whole world is Chaitanyam. Whole world, the adhishtanam of the entire world is Chaitanya. Okay? Exactly that. Like the adhishtanam of this pot and all clay objects is clay. There is absolutely nothing besides clay. Inside you look, there is clay. Underneath, is there something else? No. Backside? No. It's all clay. Every side, it's only clay. Same way, Chinmatra Ganat, Purushaha is Chinmatraha. Therefore, Chinmatra Ganat, Anyat Vastvantaram, another entity that is greater, does not exist. Nast. Because Purusha is existence. Yeah. Tasmat. 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 This Tasmat is what? Therefore, concluding this argument, this line of thinking, Tasmat. The other meaning of Tasmat, we saw. The beginning of this Bhaashyam we studied today. Tasmat avyaktat paraha. That Tasmat means from that avyaktam. From that. Tasmat there means from that. Here also Tasmat means from that, but literally, but finally what is the meaning? Therefore. Therefore means what? From all the arguments we've seen thus far, right? That is the meaning of therefore. When somebody says therefore, means some logic was given to you, and therefore, concluding that line of thinking, okay, we have not chanted, did we? No, we chanted. Okay. Tasmat Sukshmatva Mahatva Pratyagatmatvanam Sa Kashta Nishta Paryavasanam. Okay, we saw that. Tasmat. So from that, therefore, from all the things that are subtle, that are expansive, and that are getting closer and closer to Atma, that are the essence. They're getting the essence, then essence of the essence, and essence of the essence of the essence. Okay? From those kinds of things that we've been talking about, Kashta, that Purushaha, which is referred to by the word Sa, which all these grammar people will question. Wait a minute, Purushaha is Pullingam, Akaranta Pullingam, and this Upanishad is using Sa to refer to a Pullingam. Sa is Strilingam. Sa is three. Yeah, there is a rule in Sanskrit which says that because Kashtha, that Videya, Kashtha, is Akaranta Strilingam, it's all right to refer to Purusha using a Strilingam word called Sa. The Kashta decides the lingam of that Tat, which becomes Sa. So it's nothing wrong like that. There is a line of discussion. Anyway, So sa kashta. Okay. It's a culmination. Swamiji gives an example. It is like you've been traveling all the way lagatar in the train. No, train journey we have to talk. And then our plane also is okay. And the train is approaching your last station, Delhi Central, Chennai Central. It's just coming. Train is coming. How do you know it's coming? It's slowing down. And how do you know it's coming? People are all carrying the bags, pulling the stuff, suitcases from the top and dragging stuff. And then they're already lining up next to the door. Hey, wait a minute. You don't have to line up. It's not like the train is going to stop there. Every station, 1 minute, 2 minutes, it stops. Some of the intermediate stations. But this station is like, no, Paragati, sa kashta asti, okay? Kashta means culmination, last stop. It won't run away from here. In fact, it can't run away. You know why? Because it's gone and just hit the end of the platform, and beyond that, it can't go. Therefore, you don't worry. The train is not going to go away anytime soon. Okay, so that is the kashta. Last station is approaching, from which there is no other way to go except to take a reverse. Okay, and that example Swamiji gives. Swami Paramarthananda. Okay, now let's read the next sentence and conclude the Bhaashyam today. Mahesh ji is saying Chennai Central is a better example. Okay, he may be right, because I've not been to Delhi Central.
Yeah, because this is Chennai Central is a dead end.
It did. Okay. So Delhi is not a dead end, huh?
No.
Not a dead end.
You can go to north further.
Further you can
Mumbai
go.
also. Mumbai also.
So it's interesting they constructed all this. And which train, they have to go and then reverse again and things like that. Anyway, we'll stick with Chennai Central. Okay. You're right. So next one. Atrahi
Atrahi
Indriyebhyah
Indriyebhyah
Arabhya
Arabhya
Sukshmatvadi
Sukshmatvadi
Parisamaptihi
Parisamaptihi
Ataha evacha
Ata evacha
Gantrinam
Gantrinam
Sarvagatimatam
Sarvagatimatam
Samsarinam
Samsarinam
Para Prakrishta Gatihi.
Sa para prakrishta gatihi.
Yeah, so your notebook has that word sa, and Gita Press does not have that word, but in Gita Press you can make a note sa. Sa para prakrishta gatihi.
Sa para prakrishta gatihi.
Within quotes, yad gatva
Yad gatva
na nivartante
na nivartante
iti smritehe.
iti smritehe.
Okay.
Dhanyavad.
All right. So, atrahi indriyebhyah arabhya. Atra literal meaning is here. Here refers to here, in this Purusha, in this Atma. Okay, that is the meaning of Atra. Atra means here. Here alone, indeed here in this Purusha, Indriyebhyah arabhya sukshmatvadi parisamaptihi. Here alone, this whole taratamya, this whole gradation going from objects to sense organs to manaha to buddhi to hiranyagarbha to maya and maya to purusha, that whole journey that was taken, parisamaptihi, ends for good, parihi, good, ends for good. Ends not as in, oh, it has ended, my vacation has ended, not that kind of thing. Yeah, our Shastra is very careful. I tell you, Sanskrit, I'm The more I study, the more I understand why they call it Deva Bhasha. Not an ordinary thing. Deva Bhasha, they say spoken by gods and all that. That's not correct meaning. Deva Bhasha means right here you and I can appreciate that Devatvam, that greatness of the language. Okay? One prefix, enough. It tells the whole story. Okay. And so, Parisamaptihi. And how does it start? Indriyebhyaha arabhya. Starting from Indriyebhyaha, which is there, the first word of the 10th shloka, 10th mantra, 1, 3, 10. Correct? And so, Indriyebhyaha arabhya. Sukshmatvadi Parisamaptihi. What is Sukshmatvadi? Sukshma, etc. Subtlety, etc. What is that, etc.? Well, expansiveness and essence, closer to Atma, we were talking about those three things. That's what he's referring to as Sukshmatvadi, Sukshmatva, etc., subtlety, etc. Yeah. Atra Parisamapti. In this Purusha, it culminates. The journey culminates. Okay, now look at this. Ataha evacha. Therefore, Gantrunam Sarvagatimatam Samsarinam Ta Para Prakrishta Gatihi. Okay. That is why, okay, so far the journey was from this Indriyani, objects, etc., all the way to Atma. Now we have to talk about me. Why am I studying all these things? Just because you are telling me all these fancy things, Maya and all you introduced, you used a few words. Is that what I'm here for? No, I'm not here for that, even though, yes, there's so much to learn from the Shastram. I am here for moksha. I am here for a problem I have. I have a serious problem. Shastram says, yeah, you think you have a serious problem. You convert the sentence from I have a problem to I think I have a problem. That's a big step. That's a huge step. No, I have a problem. Yeah, I know you have a problem, but can you just for a second say, I think I have a problem? Really? Yeah, okay. I think I have a problem. Great. That's a huge step because now let's continue the journey, right? Therefore, he's talking finally about that rubber hits the road. Gantrinam, Samsarinam, Sarvagatimatam. These samsaris who are all studying this Shastram. Shastram is meant for samsaris only. People who say there is a dead end in life. That's it, dead end. I've reached a dead end, Here also, this Purusha is a dead end, they say. Shastra will say. But for those people who thinks life is reached a dead end, okay, those samsaris, they're called samsaris, and sarva gatimatam. Sarva gatimatam means they have gone through all kinds of stuff. They have experimented everything that is there. What is there somebody has not done? Tell me. I've seen all restaurants. I've gone to all places. Have you taken a cruise to Bali? Really? Where is Bali? Which part? Not is it near Delhi? No. Bali is not near Delhi. Bali is a different country altogether. And you can go by water to Bali. Really? Yes. Then go to Bali and that also exhausted. You see all the volcanoes, all the animals, all the big looking animals and all you see. And then you see all the temples there. And then you come back and write a report to all your friends, WhatsApp, pictures, everything done. I've seen all places. Okay. I've been to Europe, I've been to America, everything over. Sarva Gati Matam. Correct? Somebody went to, when I was studying, doing my master's, this is late 80s, 1980s. I got a call from a good friend. He says his good friend from India came to New York, came to study, came somewhere, South Carolina or somewhere. He came to that university and studied. And then the family never heard back from him. So the family is perturbed, disturbed. They want to know something. They can't simply come to America. They don't have the means to come to the US. And they're trying to trace him. Can you help? This is the day when there is only phone call you can make. And there is no WhatsApp. There is no nothing. It used to cost us $3 to make 1 minute phone call. 1 minute I used to pay $3. And my salary itself was some $500, $600. Okay. And you talk for 10 minutes, you're going to pay $30. It's like you have to plan it out. A phone call to India has to be planned out. That's how it was. And I get a call like this. And so I thought, let me help in whatever way I can help. So I made a few calls, this thing. I even called the university. I found out the university number by going to the library and looking up the encyclopedia of universities. And then I got the number of the universities, number of the department, everything. I started making phone calls. Then I said, yes, there was a guy like that who studied here. Somehow I tracked, and then he said, then he left us some time ago. Some 2-3 years ago, he left us. And he was somebody I called, and that person said he was a taxi driver in New York. Can you believe this story? And he ran afoul of the immigration authorities. Means what? He became out of status. And you have to be in status, whatever visa, F1 visa, J1 visa, etc. He was proper. But then for some reason, he did this, and then I think he went underground. Means he just said, I can't expose myself. But beyond that, I couldn't go. Taxi driver in New York means, what do you do? Unless I go to New York and just decide, I have to figure this guy out. Okay, I have to track it out. And I didn't have that kind of means at that time. And so Gati, I just came to my Sarva Gati Matam. People have gone through all kinds of experiences. Sarva Gati Matam. If I didn't go through the experience, I can see somebody going through that experience. And I can say, oh my God, that was tough. That's traumatic. Yeah, either me or you or he. That's all. Everybody, you mix up everything, it's all Sarva Gati Matam. Gantru Nam. The people, Gantru, literal meaning is travelers. Travelers, Gantru. Ganta means traveler. And so, of all these samsaris who are constantly traveling, doing something or the other, and who travel pretty much everywhere, they've figured it all out, and new things are also coming up. Okay. And then what? Sa para prakrishta gatihi. Sa gatihi. That is the end. Gati here means destination. That is the destination. What is the destination? Purusha is the destination for these samsaris. The samsari should know that Purusha is my destination, which happens to be myself alone, which is God, all right, but that God and me are essentially called Purusha. And that person has to understand it. Otherwise, he will say, I have to go to God, and he will stand in line to go to and meet God somewhere. But Shine Punye Martyalokam Vishanti is there, and therefore, Prakrishta Gatihi, Shankaracharya says, that is the greatest Gatihi, greatest. Because that is not subject to time and space. If I say I want to go to heaven, then I will say at some time I am bored with Vaikuntha. People used to say, no, Kailasa is better. I ignored their advice and came to Vaikuntha. That doubt will come. Vishnu, I feel like sitting and meditating. This Vishnu does not teach me any meditation. I think it's time for me to go to Kailas. Correct? That doubt will come. How will I know I doubt will come? Because this mind only is going there. There also I'll think exactly like the way I'm thinking here. And so, and why is it called Prakrishta Gatihi? Shankaracharya is saying, Yad Gatva na Nivartante iti Smritehe. Hey, Smriti also, Bhagavad Gita, you've been studying before you came to this Upanishad, you studied Bhagavad Gita? Yes. 15th chapter? Yes. Na tad bhasayate suryaha न शशांको न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम न तद् bhasayate suryah. 15:6, by the way, mantra number 15:6, if you want to make a note. Okay.
Already
15:6.
there in the Bhaashyam.
In the PDF, it's mentioned.
It's mentioned in your notebook. I see. Okay.
Gita Bhaashyam also is there. Gita Press also is there.
It's there, but there's one more. I'll give you some other references. Okay. So we'll finish this discussion. And Natad Bhasayate Surya. The sun cannot illuminate this Purusha. This Atma cannot be illuminated by the brightest object we know, which is the sun. Natad Bhasayate Surya. Na Shashanko, na Pavakaha. Neither the moon can do anything, nor any type of flame that you create cannot illuminate this Atma. Yad Gatvana Nivartante. Having recognized that Atma as my goal itself. I am Atma and that is the goal. That is why they say you are what you're seeking. Yad Gatva na Nivartante. There is no more any return. Shine Punya Martilokam Vishanti. If I go to heaven, I can go to another heaven and from there I can come back to earth also. Possible. But here, na Nivartante. Having gone to which there is no return at all. That shloka Shankaracharya is quoting here from the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And there are, you just make a note for now. I'll explain it to you later. So 8.15, 8.16, 8 is Akshara Brahma Yoga, And so there also we saw these things. And then 8.21, okay. And of course, 15.6 we just said. And then Kathopanishad also, the 8th mantra, if you just leaf back a few pages, if you go to the 8th mantra, what does it say? Yes, 4th quarter. Yasmat bhuyo na jayate. Yasmat. From that tatpadam apnoti, that padam, that destination, gaining which yasmat bhuyo na jayate. There is no another appearance anywhere. No more birth possible in any other word. Yasmat bhuyo na jayate. That also is a reference here. 8:15. 8:15, if you look up, if you had Bhagavad Gita in your hand, if you look up, Mamupayitya Punarjanma Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam Na Apnuvanti Mahatmanaha Samsiddhim Parama Gataha. There it says, Punarjanma Na Apnuvanti. They do not gain another Janma. That is 8:15. 8:16 also, same thing. Punarjanma Na Vidyate. Okay. Brahma Bhuvana Lokaha Punaravartino Arjuna, right? All these lokas that you are going to, you want to go to, they're all of the nature of returning back. There is no one-way ticket. Correct? There's no one-way ticket. Every ticket will be followed by another ticket. Either you buy the ticket now itself before going, or after going also you can buy the ticket. That's your choice. Okay? And so, Punaravartino Arjuna, even Brahmaloka is like that. He says, Maam upetyata kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. Okay? Punarjanma na vidyate. Then 8:21 also. Yam prapya na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. There also. Yam prapya na nivartante. Having gained that avyaktam aksharam. There he uses the word avyaktam aksharam. There avyaktam is not Maya. Avyaktam is unmanifest. Nirgunam Brahma. Correct? Because context should be like that. Right? And then in Kathopanishad 138, we saw all these references for this word gatihi. For this word sa paragatihi. Prakrishta gatihi. Iti smritehe. Smritehe is Panchami Ekavachanam. So from Smriti, there is a meaning. Iti, we hear from Smriti also all these same ideas. Like that, Shankaracharya is concluding the Bhaashyam of the 11th mantra of the 3rd Valli of the 1st chapter, 1st Adhyaya. Okay? We'll continue in the next class. Okay, we have to do this thing. Anvaya, like we did. Huh? All right, let's do the Anvaya. Write this down. Avyaktam mahataha param bhavati. Full stop. Avyaktam mahataha param bhavati. Next. Purushaha avyaktat paraha bhavati. Bhavati supplied. Okay. Purushaha avyaktat paraha bhavati. Full stop. So nice small sentences. Next. Purushat param kinchit na asti. Asti supplied. Purushat param kinchit na asti. Full stop. Next. Sa kashtha bhavati. Sa kashta paryavasanam bhavati. If you want, you can say. So what you should do is when you do the Anvaya, after doing the Anvaya, the key words that you don't understand, you just write it in English on the side. So you can, I mean, you should translate. You should make that attempt to translate at least this Anvaya, right? And that's the ideal one. And so you can do those kinds of things. Okay. Sa kashta paryavasanam bhavati. Paryavasanam and bhavati within brackets. Next sentence. Sa para prakrishta gatihi bhavati. Prakrishta in brackets and bhavati in brackets. Sa para prakrishta gatihi bhavati. Prakrishta means greatest. Gatihi means destination. All right. So let me read the whole thing again. Avyaktam mahataha param bhavati. Full stop. Purushaha avyaktat paraha bhavati. Full stop. Purushat param kinchit na asti. Full stop. Sa kashta paryavasanam bhavati. Full stop. Sa para prakrishta gatihi bhavati. Full stop. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.